It's like I'm living in the fucking labyrinth. Don't go that way. Anyway, but that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to find my way
Don't go that
through a whole
way.
crazy world full of goblets and goblins. Goblins with
Anyway,
goblets.
but that way.
Goblins drinking out of cups. I worked at the day labor staffing places because that's the only kind of work you can get after 100 years of just being a homeless drunk. Uh, Day labor staffing, jobs all over the place, doing all kinds of stuff, cleaning the Seattle Seahawks football stadium, all those 5,000 chairs in the bleachers. I cleaned those. That was the same year, the first year I lived in Seattle, the first year the Seahawks won their first Super Bowl for the first time. I think that might have had something to do with me. You're welcome, because I cleaned that stadium so well, so they played better and they won. That was me, so you're welcome. And the Seattle Mariners Stadium, same thing. Well, they still suck, but anyway, I cleaned that place for less than minimum wage, and that all sucked. And instead of spending my money on an apartment to sleep in, I spent my money on a rehearsal studio space that I found. It was a couple $100 a month, shared time in a room. It was basically a basement in a warehouse. So much noise going on upstairs, but it was a rehearsal space where you could play your music and a couple other bands, and we shared time in that room in the basement. It was like a dungeon down there. But I would go in there and hang out and just play my music and try to record stuff on a little 8-track recorder that I bought because that's all I wanted to do with my life, and that's all I want to do with my life, period, is music. So I worked my ass off, slaving away at labor jobs every day and every night, barely sleeping out on the streets and surviving any way I could, and spent every bit of my money on music gear, little amps and stuff, and all I had was my acoustic guitar that I traveled around the country with, and I wanted to add some little electric leads to some little acoustic songs that I'd been messing around with. So I got one of those little Fishman pickups that you put in the like acoustic guitar, and a little battery-powered amp, and small stuff that I thought might be able to be just enough to get at least a demo uh, album done to then maybe go and try to find people to start a band with and blah blah blah, that whole thing. It never turned out quite as well as I wanted it to, but eventually I moved to a different studio farther north of Seattle, north of the city. It was a little farther to get to it, but it was a much nicer studio. Um, it was at least a nice place that I could go and hang out and stay warm, and had a kitchen in the upstairs area and a bathroom and a nice little lounge place too. And for less than an apartment, it was monthly rent for a place where I can play my music as loud as I wanted to. And I was sharing that one with one other guy who was a drummer, and that's his drum set there. He actually caught me sleeping in there one time, which was awkward. But I never did get any good recording done, and never really got anything going on with any other musicians around town. I talked to a couple people, but nothing really ever came of it. I was just kind of alone doing my own thing by myself with my guitar, per usual. But I kept working at it every single day and dreaming about it nonstop, always, always, always. That would have looked really cool, all packed up and ready to go, with the backpack on, clip, and then you grab the skateboard, boom, ready to go. If I wasn't wearing black socks and sandals, looking like a fucking ninja turtle, the fucking turtle toe, the turtle toe ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey man, it was hot outside and my feet were sweating walking around all day every day, so I wasn't wearing my sneakers. I had to wear sandals and let my feet air out. And so, hey man, whatever's comfortable. It was comfortable. You can all go fuck. This was a building, and it's like an abandoned building in downtown, close to Pioneer Square. And there's always graffiti art all over it. Every couple of weeks it changes. The whole side of it, like a mural, will be painted something different every couple of weeks. And the week I got into Seattle, April 2013, this was painted all across that wall. Hi, Francis. A little baby bean all grown up. So cool. I know she doesn't even like the band. She doesn't even like any of the music from the good old days. I'm just saying hi. I'm just saying hi to the girl. Can I say hi to a person without everybody freaking out? I'm just saying hi. Hi, Francis. Oh, look, there's Bob Dylan and Jimi Hendrix hanging out under the Space Needle with Janis Joplin and Buddy Holly and Louis Armstrong and Robert Johnson, I think. So, hello to you people, too. Hello, everyone. Just kidding, it's not really them. It's just more that graffiti vandalism, defacing public property. Disgusting. Francis does much better art, cooler art, on socks. Maybe Francis will hook me up with a pair of them socks, a pair of them art socks that she makes. Yeah, I need a fresh pair of socks. My turtle toe's ready to go, bro! Days went by, and the months went by, and the calendar went by. Calendar is flying past my head because people are just throwing stuff at me. For the first time in a long time, I got to live in a place that actually gets my favorite season of the fall time. And all the leaves were changing colors, and the trees were blossoming their razor blade barbed wire that grows out of the. What trees aren't supposed to grow barbed wire? Well, you've never been to Seattle, then. You think barbed wire just grows on trees? Well, it do. There's the Fremont Canal. It's a canal in Fremont, and you got to walk over a skinny little bridge to get over it every single day. And boats go through, rich people on their boats, and the bridge goes up and it holds up traffic for everyone. So fuck you, rich people, and your boats. Fuck you, rich boats. There's a tree turning into candy of all different flavors. But by studying my surroundings, I could tell that when the foliage changed to the blue and green flavored luminescent glow in the dark gumdrops on the branches of the trees, I knew that that signaled the onset of winter.